Let's do a final review about Boolean operations. Can you remember all of the relational operators? There are 6 total. They're less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, the equality test, and the not equal to operator. Can you remember all the Boolean operators? There's 3 of those. They're and, or, and not. Next, try to write an expression that evaluates to true if someone's eligible to serve as a senator. To be a senator, you have to be at least 30 years old and be a U.S. citizen for at least 9 years. Try to write a program where you ask the end user to enter their age and number of years that they've been a citizen. Then print out the Boolean result of the expression that you build. Take a few minutes and try to write that Python program yourself, then come back and check your answers. So in our program, we want to ask the user to enter their age, and that's going to be a numeric value. So I'm going to put int input, enter your age. And we also want them to enter the number of years that they've been a citizen. Then finally, we want to use those 2 values to figure out whether the person is eligible to be a senator, where we have to be at least 30 years old. In Python, we would represent that by using the relational operator greater than to see if the age is bigger than 30. And you have to be at least 30 years old, so that means greater than or equal to 30. It's just fine if somebody's 30, they can be a senator. And then we also want the person to be a citizen for at least 9 years. That means greater than or equal to 9. And we join those 2 expressions, the answers to those 2 questions together using an and operator. We can tell that because in the problem statement, it says to be a senator, you have to be 30 years old and be a U.S. citizen for at least 9 years. So we know that both of those have to be true. So we're going to connect with an and operator. Then after we've made our determination, we'll print out the result. Let's run our program. Enter our age. Let's say that we are 35 and we've been a citizen for 15 years. Then that means we are eligible. How about, run it again, suppose that we're 18 and we've been a citizen for 18 years. That's false because we don't meet both of these requirements. You can try this with lots of different combinations of data to see how the program evaluates this expression. Let's move on to the next challenge. This one says, write an expression that evaluates as false if someone is eligible to serve in the House of Representatives. Recall that to be a U.S. representative, you have to be at least 25 years old and be a citizen for 7 years. So we're going to ask the user to enter their age and the number of years they've been a citizen, and then print out the Boolean result of the expression you build. So we can start with that same program that prompts for the age and the years of citizenship. I'm going to label this previous result Senate result equals, just so we can keep track of it. Now I'm going to build our new expression, the one that checks to see whether somebody is eligible to be a U.S. representative and returns false if they are. So first, let's try to just build an expression that returns true if someone's eligible. So we know they're eligible if their age is at least 25, so age greater than or equal to 25, and if they've also been a citizen for at least 7 years. So if we want an expression that evaluates to true when both conditions are met, this is it. If we want the expression to evaluate when false, when this is true, we can do that by simply adding the not operator in front. Remember, the not operator takes the inverse value, so if everything inside the parentheses evaluates to true, then applying the inverse to it will give us a false result. That's what we're looking for. So I'm going to print that out with a label that says not eligible for the house, since when it returns false, it means they are eligible, and when it returns true, it means they're not eligible. Let's test out our program again. So if they're 25 years old and they've been a citizen for 7 years, then they're not eligible for the house is false, which is correct. They are eligible for the house, so saying that they're not eligible is false. And they're not eligible for the Senate because they haven't met both criteria. Let's try it again with another input set. Suppose that they're 60 and they've been a citizen for 60 years. Then saying they're not eligible for the House is false because they are eligible for the House. And the Senate result is true. They are eligible for the Senate. Again, you can play around with different values to see how your expressions are evaluated for different test cases.